that the next morning I mentioned it, but I didn't mention rape, because I didn't, to be honest, I didn't want to be a victim of that, because
Yeah.
again, here's my pride. I am not a victim. I don't
Yeah.
want to be a victim of rape. So I'm not going to admit it. And
Yeah.
so that is so bad. Like the pride in that, right? I didn't talk about it. I really didn't. From that day, I mentioned it, but I didn't say the words rape. I just, I was just like, and then, the next time in October, so it happened on October, and then I talked about it in December, when I broke down.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It's because I forced myself to think that I was okay. It was, again, my pride. It was me not wanting to believe and accept that that happened to me. I never thought that I would be a victim to that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
me not acknowledging it made me feel and think that it didn't happen. And so if I ignore it and I compress all these feelings, it'll go away. But, again, um, obviously it didn't. But I feel like, again, because these were topics that aren't easily discussed or even discussed at all or normalized in our household, it made me feel like, like I didn't have to talk about it.
Did you like, it made you feel bad for happening to you? Like, was it your fault?
Yes. Yes, really though. Really. I did. And I was like, well, if I wasn't in the right place, the right time, if I was doing better things, if I was hanging out with better people, then it wouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have, been drinking. I haven't, I was just thinking all these things. Yeah. And blaming my,
Yeah. And I know you said you finally opened up and shared it to your parents, right? And to your family.
Yeah.
But what was their initial, like, what was the reaction? Like, how did they respond when they first heard it?
And before I share, I don't want anyone to come for my parents or to judge them, just because I know that they love me, and the way that they reacted is because they were hurt and because they care for me. But my dad, he's just the normal Tongan dad, but he kind of just put his head down and he got angry, and he was like, I told you to stop drinking. And that was his first thing that he said.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I know. He said, I told you to stop drinking. And then I was like, that's where I was like, this is not my fault, because no one else was sticking up for me, because I didn't even stick up for me. That's where, because it was me always bashing me and me telling myself that already. When it was someone else who was telling me that, who was my dad, I was just like, no. That's where I stood up for myself. I was like, no, it doesn't matter if I was drinking. It doesn't matter. Like, if I say no, no person has the right to touch you or to do something to you without consent.
Yeah. There's nothing in this world that can justify rape. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. Rape is rape.
Exactly. And so he went in the room, and he went straight to the room. He started punching things, and then he was trying to find out who they were, who the guys were. And I didn't say the names because I know he was so angry and he wanted to kill them. And so did my brother. But that was his first initial reaction. But for people who know my dad, or I guess not even people like my family, my dad is, he's an angry guy, but he's also, I love my dad, and that's him. But that was the way he acted. And then, after that was him reacting from his anger and his hurt. But then later on, he came and talked to me, and we talked, when he wasn't so angry, and I understood, and I knew. I didn't take it to heart because I knew that's not what he meant. My mom just started crying. My mom's a big crier. She started crying. But after that, I didn't want it to stop there. I didn't want it to stop there. So I started holding like discussions every Sunday, because we have like our family discussion where all my family, my siblings will come to my mom's house, and we'll just like discuss, things for the family, kind of like a family home eating, but on Sundays. Mm-hmm. And so we've been slacking, but where we talk about sex, where we talk about sexual assault, we talk about the things that we don't talk about. We told my brother, he didn't know what rape was. He was confused, and we explained that to him, and we explained to him that you never ever have the right to touch anyone. We taught him that, and then we taught him, and no one ever has the right to touch you, without consent. And if anyone does, the first people I hope you come to, and I hope we make you feel safe enough to come to, is us. And that's like going back to what you were saying, like family, not being able to express things. That's what I've seen the change in my family from that first discussion. We've been more open with like mental health, with bad decisions, bad choices. I still smoke from time to time. My parents understand. They just don't want it in their house. I do it in their house. You know what I mean? Um, and I know they don't agree with a lot of things, but because they love me, they love me. Nothing changes their love for me, or if that makes sense. But yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah. And so, I mean, I love how you took action. That's one thing I love why you just shared right now. And I love how you guys are. Man, you guys have made so much progress from. People don't realize how hard it is for, like, I know we're just talking about right now, like from going from telling your parents of what happened, and then going from making discussions. People don't realize how hard it is to do that with the Tongan family, a traditional Tongan parent family. It takes a lot to do that.
Oh my
and
god.
and for me is what saddens me is like, that's something we should do. We shouldn't wait till when the worst case scenario happens to either the kids or something happens for us to react. It's something we should.
Exactly.
I feel like in the community we should be proactive. Like,
Yeah.
let's not wait for our kids for that to happen to our kids, and our kids to struggle and
Yeah.
fall into hard times for us
Exactly.
as a community. And that's why I'm very just shout out to you, and then thankful that you're sharing this. And I know it's very courageous of you. But I feel like that's the reason why a lot of these things happen in our culture and
Yeah.
families, is because we don't talk about it. And also, and like you said, what you said is exactly I feel like why a lot of kids don't say it, because the way your parents reacted, I feel like this is what's going to be the common reaction with a lot of parents. And just looking back from my past, right, when I make a mistake, that's always been like the first way our parents have the way they handled those situations, like I told you so,
Yeah.
right? They always try to flip it on you, like like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, we have to take responsibility for our choices.
Yeah.
Uh, but like I said, but that's something like every kid. That's why kids don't want to talk about these things, because they know their parents. The first thing they do is they're gonna blame it on you and make you
Yep.
feel bad for happening to you, even though you're
Exactly.
the victim. Even though you're
Yeah,
the
you're the
victim.
victim. Yeah, it was done to you. Like, hello.
Like,
Exactly.
like what kids should really need to hear is, oh my god, what, like just like a hug, like I love you, and then like just embrace you, and then what and be there for you, and be in
Yeah.
your corner. Like, we just want our parents to be in our corner, to know that they got us, even the good times, especially when we struggle. We want to
Hmm.
know that parents will always got there. And then, because we feel like as kids that's going to be their reaction, because how we grew up as a child,
Yeah.
when we do face these situations in our life, we know how our parents going to react. So we rather just not talk about it and not
Yeah.
hide it, and
Exactly.
just let it happen, and keep continuing.